Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about one of my favorite cars that I have. I purchased this car that's been sitting in the field for about 5 years if I had to take a guess. It was filled with rats, mouse poop, all kind of thing, anything you can guess it. Now in all honesty, I kind of got myself into more of what I can handle. And going through this harness. Now this thing was by far ready to drive at all.
Working pretty good.
Now to say you can drop an engine in and go is a complete understatement. This thing was rough.
Well, what the hell happened? Well, the windshield wipers were working earlier. I don't have to double check that. I got that working. I got the running lights working. Update on this.
I almost wasn't sure what was even savable. I just gutted the car down. What came clean and was reusable, I did. Now I've been daily driving this car for a little over a year, and to say that I enjoy it is a complete understatement. I absolutely love this car. Now many of you may know that I have an 87 GT with 90,000 original miles. That is absolutely beautiful. It's not perfect in any way, but it is damn close. Okay, now getting back to the 91LX. Remember when I was saying that I kind of got myself into something more than what I wanted? In other words, I had nowhere to put the car. I had nowhere to work on it really other than my one-car garage. Luckily, my father-in-law let me put it at his place. And some of you know, he's a bow tie guy, and we can all see how that went over. Now I got this car to be a daily driver and just put it together with extra parts that I had laying around. I had a complete turbo kit, I had an AOD transmission, I had a 3000 TCI stall, I had a set of GT40s, I had an Edelbrock intake, I had a couple of different things to choose from. So once I got the car running, it turned out that the engine that I ended up using not being any good. So I had to go out on Marketplace and find another engine. I ended up finding this Lopo 302 short block. Now these got flat top pistons, or so flat top pistons with a small dish if you want to say. Now I had to cut the valve reliefs in them even for the GT40 heads, and if I'm going to do all that work, I'm not going to use the GT40 heads, I'll just upgrade. And the heads I ended up going with is the Flowtech 180cc heads. They're the cheapest aluminum heads you can buy. Now, they work great. I had no complaints, but it just wasn't enough for me. Once I got this thing home and started driving it every day, I started growing more and more attached to it. I knew this thing wanted to be a race car deep down inside. And before I knew it, there was a set of Edelbrock Performer RPM cylinder heads at my doorstep. I tore the thing down, put the heads on it, slapped some paint on the car, and off I went to the track and started having a blast. Now the first pass down the track, the car resulted in an 804 with a 194 60 foot. The car had 373 gears with an open differential. I knew right then a set of 410 gears and a mini spool would help this car a lot. And before I knew it, the car was back in my garage on jack stands and getting both of what I just said. Let's just say the 410 gears and the mini spool woke this thing up a lot. It's doing wheelies in the street now. Well, mini wheelies, but does that still count? I had a TNT day coming up soon, and I knew this thing needed a shift kit in the AOD. It was so lazy. There was just no way possible I was going to get the shift kit in time. So I just took the car as is. So back to the track I went. Surprisingly enough, I finally got my 7-second pass. 796 at 91.3 miles an hour with a 187 60 foot. So I brought the car home, started looking over it, trying to see what I could upgrade on. I did a compression test and found out the car only had 105 psi of cylinder pressure per cylinder. That's not going to cut it. So I built this short block that I had laying around. I installed a set of domed Keith Black pistons, Speedmaster rods, and my original E303 camshaft, along with the same Performer RPM cylinder heads, wind, accelerator intake, single plane, 650 CFM chokeless carburetor, and before all that, the B&M Transpac shift kit.
Next update.
Now we know since this combination has been put in, I have not been able to get a good track day in. The last track day was a no prep, and all I did was spin. Not good. So the races that are coming up, we have to make it count. I'm really anxious to see what this little small block can do. I know it's a screamer.